everybody, I'm Jenny with Art Among the Flowers. I'm one of the designers here, and today we're going to teach you how to make a Thanksgiving table centerpiece. This is a sample of what we're going to make today, and it's got 2 taper candles in it and some live flowers, and we'll talk about all these flowers. It's also in a wonderful container that is oven to table, so you can bake in this and bring it to your table, of course, after you're done enjoying your flowers. The first thing we're going to do is insert our taper candles. What I like to do is get a little bit of Lumi glue and I put it on the bottom of my candle, and we do this so the candles are really secure, because the last thing you want is a hot candle to fall out of your centerpiece on your table in front of your guests. So we've done that first. Have a little glue on the bottom. I'm going to insert it into my Oasis foam, which I have already soaked and preset in here. And I'm putting it on the side rather than down the center, because we're also going to secure the foam into our vase. Here's another little glue, a little sample. And we're going to put it down into the foam. And you can see I'm pushing down from the bottom of the candle rather than the top, because you don't want to break your candle. Once you put it in your foam, you kind of want to push down from here so they're centered. You're also going to keep them at least 1 inch to 2 inches apart, because when your candles are burning, you don't want them too close. They'll melt each other. Next thing we're going to do is get some anchor tape. So we're going to secure our Oasis foam in our vessel, which is our container. We call them vessels. We just go right down the side in the front and we bring it tight all the way down the middle, and we come around the other side. We're going to cut it a little bit and we're going to crisscross this to secure our tape. So we have a little T on this side right here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but this is just to secure your arrangement or your foam in here so it doesn't fall out of your container. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to green up our vase before we put our flowers in. And so today I'm going to use a couple greens. I always like to mix it up. We're going to use some variegated pittosporum. So this is our pit, we call it, short for pittosporum. And I'm just going to snap it off. It's a woody green, so we like to snap it with our hands rather than cut it with scissors. And we're going to strip the bark back, because the more you show the bark here, the more it's going to drink. So we're going to do that real quick and we'll green this up and then be right back. I went ahead and greened up our pre-design here to save a little bit of time, but I did want to talk about a couple things. One thing is the type of foam we're using. This is Oasis wet foam. It's dry right now, but when you prep this, you actually look at your foam. You have 3 sections. This is called a brick, and it's lined here, so you know how much to cut off so you're not wasting your product. And this type of vessel, it took 2 bricks. So I cut it right here on the line dry, then I submerged it in water, and so you get a bucket or a kitchen sink or some type of container that is big enough to take the 2 bricks, and the holes are on the top on one side. So you're going to just lay it in the water and let it submerge naturally. Don't push it, because if you push it, you're going to trap air bubbles in there. And then when you're designing, if a stem hits an air bubble, it's not drinking water. And on top of that, when you do put your foam in your container, you're going to see that there's some gaps between the container and the foam. So that's why we have a little bit of water here. Go ahead and fill the crack up where you see with water, almost 2/3 of the way up. So if a stem does get put into the foam and it comes out the other side, it's still drinking water and it's not in the air. And with that being said, when you cut your stems, whether it be the greens or the flowers, know where you want to put your stem before you actually cut it, because you only have 5 seconds to cut a stem and then get it into its water source, whether it be water or the wet foam. So I'm going to look at my design, spin it around a couple times. I can see it's kind of a little lopsided on one side, so I'm going to cut my stem here at a 45-degree angle and put it in the foam. So now it should be able to drink water without any problem. And the best insertion is at least 2 inches. So make sure whatever you cut, there's at least 2 inches in your water source. All right, so now we have our container greened up. We've got two different kinds of greens in here. We have our pittosporum, and then we also have leatherleaf. Leatherleaf is a great green, and it's also very affordable. It's a long green, a long lateral. It has short laterals alongside of it, so you can get a lot of use out of it. So what I'm going to do is cut a short lateral here. I'm going to get rid of the lower leaves, so I have that 2-inch stem, give it another cut, and then put it into my design. So you can see we have pittosporum and leatherleaf. All right, so let's go ahead and put some flowers in here. I like to start with my focal flowers first. So we have some beautiful sunset roses here. They're bicolored, you can see. Some people like to leave the guard petals on, some like to take them off. I'm going to leave them on because I'm one of those gals that likes the guard petals. I'm going to discard the leaves. I'm going to make sure I have at least 2 inches that are going to go into this foam. So I have to decide how tall I want this design or this rose. So I'm going to cut it probably 4 inches or more at a 45-degree angle. And then I'm going to insert it right in here next to the candle. I'm going to do the opposite side. And even though your container's round, you can green this up to make it more of an oblong shape or a round shape. So it depends on your table. You can kind of camouflage it that way by putting more greens longer this way to make it more oblong if your table's oblong. So it doesn't really matter what size your container is. It's how you green it that shapes it. Okay, I have one more rose. One of the things you have to keep in mind also when you're working with candles, you don't want to put your flowers too close to your candle because if it burns down low enough, it could catch your flower on fire. So you want to be careful about that. All right, so here we have our roses. Next, we're going to use some sunflowers. Again, a nice focal flower. Great time of the year for sunflowers. One more. And these are petite sunflowers. They're not too big. Alrighty. And lucky us, we brought in some dahlias this week, so we have some leftover dahlias. These are beautiful. So what I'm trying to do is spread the color around and create my form, my shape of my design. Also attached to some of the dahlias are little buds. I love buds. Save them because they're great accent pieces for all your designs. So I'm going to just cut that little bud off and put it right in water, so maybe I don't have to cut it again because it is getting short. So we'll go a little bit this way. So what I'm trying to do is balance out the shape here. So if I have a stem too far on one side, I might bring another stem out on the other side to balance it out. This is a little long, so I'm going to cut it again at a 45-degree angle and put it right in there. And you can spin your flowers around if you want to have a little space between all your flowers and you don't want them touching each other. You can see how I just spun it around like that. If you happen to take it out, you have to give it a fresh cut. It gets clogged with the foam. Alrighty. Then I have another little stem here. I want to be careful not too close to the foam. I mean the candles. And then we have some beautiful carnations. A lot of people don't like carnations. I love them. They smell so good. They have a high petal count. They're affordable and they're fragrant. think with a design like this, you really can't go wrong. You just start putting the flowers in. I like to spread the color around, so that's what I'm doing. Here I did many more. Part of our dahlias, we have, I mentioned earlier, we have the buds, which I love. I think they're so fun. And they're kind of appropriate for today. It's Halloween. Even though we're making this for Thanksgiving, I think they're kind of a little creepy looking, but I love them. So let's go ahead and put those in. Again, I'm going to put them next to my real dahlias, the blooming dahlias, because they're it's a grouping, but it's the same flower, so naturally it should go together. There we go. Sticking them in 2 inches, and there's a big piece of foam right there where I can see, so I'm just going to stick this pod right in there like that, and that's an accent piece. And then we prepared these ribbons. We're going to add some ribbon in here, and again I'm going to kind of distribute the accent pieces all the way around, imagining this is a table, a round table, and so all your guests have something to look at other than just a flower. They could see a little accent piece. This is a little long, so I'm going to break it, just snap it. Since it doesn't need water, I'm just going to stick it in there like that and do the other on this side. We're going to just stick that in there like that. I want to put one over here, even though it's close to the candle. We're going to be careful. And then we have another one over here. And that is your table centerpiece. Might put one piece of green down the middle because I can see it needs a little bit of height there, a little dimension. Plus I can see my foam. And that's it. Well, as I mentioned, my name is Jenny, and I'm a designer here at Art Among the Flowers. Art Among the Flowers is located in the City Marketplace Shopping Center. We're right below Arthur Murray Dance Studio, across from Dominic's Deli, over near Walmart. Real easy to get to us, parking right up front. One of the fun things we do here, in addition to being a full-service florist, is we teach floral design, as you can see. So we offer classes every month. And in the new year, we're going to offer a series of classes where you can learn to design like a professional. So if you're interested in any of our classes, take a look at our website. It's artamongtheflowers.com, and click on the little menu bar that says classes, and you'll see all our classes we offer for the year. Thanks for visiting.